Hello everybody. Welcome to the super awesome fun happy Bippin question and answers video. This is going to be a different style of video. As you can recall, I asked if people would like to see a question and answers video done in the future, and most of you said yes. Most of you. So here I am, doing it right now. You all have asked some wonderful questions, and I'm here to respond to those questions. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, question number 1. Why did you become a Dead by Daylight content creator? That is a very good question. I think it boils down to 3 reasons. The first one being that I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, and I just really do enjoy the game, for the most part. So it felt fitting to kind of just cover things on the game that I knew already and that I've learned and, you know, something to just do in my free time, but also in my quote-unquote work time. The second reason being is that I have always just kind of been a creative person. I've really taken a liking to art and music and writing and reading. I have my whole life. I actually, a little bit of Bippin lore, but I was previously going to school for animation, or at least wanting to do animation, and I have animated slightly before, but I was way too ambitious with myself. I seriously, I thought I could do things that I really wanted to do and I couldn't do at the time, so I instead took to storytelling, as in creative writing, which I am now in school for, and have been in school for the last 2 years. And the third reason being is that I am jobless, and it's very hard to find a job around here for me. I've been trying to get a job. I'm on my summer break from school, so I've been trying to get hired, but a lot of places don't need me, and so I thought, you know what? I'll try and make money some other way, and here I am on YouTube, and it's been going great. So I thank you all again for watching this stuff, because you are supporting the future of this channel just by watching. Alright, second question. This one comes with 3. Non-serious question, when are you personally going to allow Pyramid Head to get better add-ons? I know you're powerful enough and definitely holding out on us, Bippin. Well, to this one I say, give it like 3 or 4 months. Honestly, I've been speaking to Pyramid Head personally lately, and he's come out about some issues that he's had in his life and some insecurities, and I've been trying to console him. I really have. But you know, my healing powers of the mind cannot be taken too swiftly. You know, it takes time to kind of heal his soul, and only then will his add-ons be better. So, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to sit through the slog fest of crappy Pyramid Head add-ons for now. Just give it a little bit, I'll talk to him, okay? I'll make something work. Serious question, will you end up covering any of the Survivors perks or lore in a similar style to your 101s? This is a very good question. As you may all know, I am a killer main. I don't play a lot of Survivor, but I feel like at some point I might try to. It's gonna be a little harder for me because, you know, with the killers I can at least cover power stuff, history, time, add-ons, controversy with certain things. With Survivors, I felt it was going to be a little harder because, you know, they just come with perks and cosmetics. So I might, honestly. It depends. Would you guys want to see Survivor 101s? And in that case, would you prefer shorter 101s for single Survivors? Or would you prefer I bundle Survivors together and make kind of like a bundle video for each Survivor 101, because then I could cover stuff like lore, perks, and cosmetics, I guess. In that case, I will. If there's a market for it, I will. Bonus silly question. How far would I, Bippin, get in a Dead by Daylight killer gauntlet? Who would take me out? Well, I think it's pretty obvious here. I would kill everybody. I would get past the entire gauntlet. I would not be taken out by anybody. I'm so sorry to say that. I know it might be a cop-out answer, but the Bippin power scaling goes pretty hard. I've had many augments to my body and my mind and my soul, as per all the 101 videos. I can't seem to die, you know. If you remember, I'm an eldritch being that's kind of hiding inside this body, so if anybody were to take me out, I would just come back, and I would just keep on going. But, you know, Trapper, left hook, dead. Wraith, right hook, dead. Sadako, actually kind of feels wrong to punch Sadako. You know what I mean. I'd take everybody out, I think. Question 3. Which one of my videos is my personal favorite? I haven't really considered a personal favorite of mine, but if I did have to say one, I would definitely choose my Vecna 101. honestly. It might be a surprise to some, it might not be. Definitely for a few reasons. First of all, I was really proud of getting on it as soon as Vecna came out. I thought that was, you know, I really cracked down and worked hard to get it as soon as possible. On top of that, I just really like some of the jokes in the video. I think it's kind of when I started to at least be more confident or comfortable with my style of humor in certain things. I think one of my favorite jokes on my channel to this day has been the whole brain expansion when I'm doing Vecna stuff and then it pops at the end. I think that was really funny, at least to me. And also that was one of my first videos that I really did see an increase in views from. Maybe it was the popularity at the time, maybe it was the style or quality of the video, but it was kind of my first moment where I was like, wow, I'm getting like a couple thousand views, you know, like that's pretty awesome. Because at first, you know, I definitely didn't think that this stuff was going to take off, so my Vecna video holds a very special place in my heart. What are my favorite interests outside of Dead by Daylight? Well, I have quite a few. I love going on walks, just love being outside in nature at times. I do hit the gym from time to time, I do like working out, definitely working on that a lot this summer. Mostly though, I just love playing video games and watching movies, anything that I can indulge that is just, you know, like stories. I absolutely love. And anything horror related. I'm really into horror. I'm kind of known as the horror guy in my friend group and in my school and stuff. Just because I love horror movies, I love horror shows, I love horror books, I love horror games. Any really medium that can tell a good horror story, I am so into, and I love it so much. And that's why I'm in school for writing, is because I want to write horror stories, and I have written many horror stories. You know what, if there's enough interest, I could share some of my horror stories. If that's something that, you know, people are here for, then cool. But for now, I mean, I'm just fine with doing Dead by Daylight stuff. I am also a very big Star Wars nerd. I don't know if that, you know, sways anybody's opinions about me or not, but I do love Star Wars. And one of the video games that I do play a lot outside of Dead by Daylight is Star Wars Battlefront 2. I love that game to death. So, question number 5. I love your thumbnails. Who does them? Well, as a matter of fact, the Gamer Gabe 4.0. I actually do my thumbnails myself, and have been since the dawn of time. As I did say previously, I am a pretty creative person, and I love illustrating and drawing on my free time. I'm not the best at it, but basically whenever one of my videos is rendering, it takes about an hour and a half to render, depending on how long it is, and I just open up Photoshop and I just do some stupid stuff on Photoshop and I draw, and that's what you see in the end result. What is your most wanted chapter in Dead by Daylight? Ooh, that's a tough one. I know I'm gonna get this question a lot, so I'm gonna say a different answer each time, just because there are tons of things that I want in the game, so I'm just gonna say for this one, you know, I think my top requested chapters in the past were Five Nights at Freddy's and Alien, and they both got in the game, so I guess my next runner-up has to be either The Thing or Pennywise from It. I think those two would just be amazing, and, you know, they're kind of classics, so I'd love to see them. I would love to see them in Dead by Daylight. I think they would make for great chapters, and definitely very popular chapters. Do you have a favorite outfit in Dead by Daylight? If we're talking about survivors, it's gotta be Jeff Johansson's cold weather cocoon outfit. I love the whole Mothman style and the jacket and the beanie. I just love Jeff as a survivor completely, like his whole aesthetic. Whenever I'm rocking Jeff, I kind of like to just rock that outfit. I think it's awesome. As for Killer, I think I've got to pick Dredge's War is Hell cosmetic. I love kind of wartime body horror stuff. And I just think it's such a cool skin, like with the armor and all the skulls and the skeleton head, and it's just so cool to me. Especially since Dredge, you know, has like the best skins in the game. He always has the best skins in the game, so I definitely love that one a lot. But there are very many close contenders. Question number 6. As a fellow content creator, what is your favorite part of the process, and what do you recommend for fellow creators? Another very good question. Thank you, Soulcross Skelly. I've gotta say, I do love hitting the publish button on a video. It may not be my favorite part, but man, like after all the work that you put into one, especially if you're doing everything yourself like I am, it is very satisfying, and you know, it gets it out in there into the world, and then you just know everybody's gonna start clicking on it, and it's great. It's really good. I think my favorite part of the process completely has to be just thinking of a really funny edit during the video and throwing it in and seeing if it works. And then when it does, just if I can make myself laugh out loud, it is the best feeling ever. Because then I know that if I find something particularly funny and people are like-minded, you know, then hopefully you guys will find it really funny as well. I think that's my favorite part for sure. What would I recommend for fellow content creators? I feel like persistence and originality. Those two things go a long way. I know, especially starting out from the beginning and starting out with, like, you know, maybe single or double digit view counts can be hard, especially when you're seeing videos come out on a daily basis and you start watching YouTube and you see, you know, videos coming out with millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views, and you're kind of like comparing. I know I do that a lot sometimes. I watch a video with tons of views and I think to myself, like, and this isn't really like an ego thing. It's like, man, I've put a lot more effort into this video than I think somebody else has put into theirs. And obviously you don't know that, but I'm more so comparing between, like, if somebody just uploads a full game of Dead by Daylight and they're already popular, they're going to get a bunch of views, right? And they don't really have to do much other than upload a full game of them playing. But then when I upload a video, you know, it's like splicing clips together and making funny clips here and there and edits and adding music and my own touch to things. So I guess where I've kind of spiraled here into is try not to compare yourself with others. I know it can be hard, but focus on yourself and persist. Just keep doing what you love. Put something out there that you think you would love, and hopefully other people will love it too. And that plays into the originality aspect too. You know, it's one thing to just upload something that, you know, a lot of people are already uploading. But if you can add your own twist to it, if you can add your own personality, your own little soul into it, then people will stay for that. And that is probably one of the best things that you can do. So I hope that helps. I hope I just didn't ramble on like garbage. But yeah, question number 7. What are your favorite non-Dead by Daylight YouTubers that you like to watch? That's a little hard at the moment because I'm finding that I'm not particularly leaning to a specific creator. I'm just kind of watching videos about things that I'm interested on. I've been watching a lot of video essays and stuff recently. If I did have to pick a couple favorites, this is going to make a lot of sense to people who know who this is, but definitely Darkmane. I've been watching his stuff for years. He primarily plays League of Legends last time I saw, and I hate to reveal this about myself, but I used to be a filthy League of Legends player. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, I've recovered. But yeah, a lot of people I've seen point out in the comments say that I sound a lot like Darkmane, or like I do a lot of jokes like Darkmane. Honestly, I mean, it's flattering. I used to watch him a lot. I don't really watch him that much anymore, but his videos are really, really entertaining, and he has like kind of similar humor styles to me. I find his stuff really funny. Definitely Darkmane in terms of gaming, but in terms of non-gaming, I've got to say 4+. Just because I love horror stuff, and I know 4+ is kind of doing like these little kind of coverings of analog horror stuff on YouTube and other types of horror stories, so I occasionally pop in from time to time when I want to see something horrific, you know, when I want to get my daily dose of horror in. But other than that, that's kind of really the only two I can think of off the top of my head. Question number 8. If you run out of 101 videos, what videos are you planning to do next? And will you ever upload Survivor gameplay? Well, for all of you who have kind of recently joined my channel, you might have come in from some of the gameplay videos, some of the matches, but I primarily did 101s before, and some goofy things here from now and then. If I ever run out of killer 101s, I definitely think I'd start leaning a little more into the Survivor stuff. If you guys want to see gameplay videos kind of similarly to how I've been doing recently with Killer, but with Survivor instead, I mean, you can laugh at me being bad at Survivor because I'm not really that good at Survivor, then sure, yeah, I mean, Survivor could be fun. It could even force me to learn and try and play a little better as Survivor. But other than that, I would love to do videos on other games. If people would like to see them, you know, maybe playthroughs of horror games, like story games or single player games, or even just other multiplayer games. If I like get a friend around and maybe you can meet some of the people that I like to hang around with. I don't know if that would be fun to watch. But you know, who knows? I'm all about experimenting here. So if you guys want to see that stuff, please do let me know because I will. you know? I've got tons of games to play, I've got tons of horror stuff, I got tons of friend stuff. Just say the word. On top of that, to add on a little bit, I know I did a casting of Frank Stone review a while back, and I was wondering, you know, I could do some reviews here and there of certain games, certain horror games, or certain horror movies even, if people are interested in my takes on movies. I don't really know if that's the case, because I've kind of built this channel around Dead by Daylight. So who knows, maybe there's a second channel on the horizon, if, you know, covering stuff outside of Dead by Daylight, who knows. Again, if the response is, you know, warranted and people want to see that, then definitely, I would love to do that type of stuff. I would love to not just solo Dead by Daylight, you know? Question number 9, and there are quite a few here, so I'll try to go a little faster for these ones. How are you doing in life? Well, thank you for asking, Bobby Thel. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm doing pretty nice. Definitely, I love seeing all the stuff that's happening and growth in this channel. I'm having a good time just on summer break, hanging out with friends, and recording videos and playing video games, of course. It's kind of the good life over here. Thank you for asking, Bobby Thel. I'm gonna ask you, how are you doing? That's wonderful. I hope you responded. Who was your overall favorite killer in Dead by Daylight? I've got to say that as of recently, I'm going to take the easy way out and say Springtrap. I've been wanting Springtrap in the game for so long, and I'm really happy with his inclusion and everything that he does. He's such a cool killer. I definitely want to start maining him and playing more games as him because I find him really fun. But before Springtrap, it had to be playing either Xenomorph or Chucky. Xenomorph, I've loved the Alien series for a long time, and I've loved playing as the Xenomorph, but, you know, I still have my gripes a little bit about the Xenomorph's power, just not being as fun. But Chucky, oh my god, I mean, I love playing Chucky. He is so much fun. How does it feel making content for over a year now? It's kind of bonkers, I will say. Over a year is pretty crazy. It feels like I started like a few weeks ago, to be honest, with my first unknown video. I kind of never assumed that this would take off as much as it did. And, you know, I still know that I'm not like a huge content creator, but, you know, it's nice to be where I'm at right now, and I never thought that I'd kind of be here, and I'm really excited for the future of stuff. So yeah, anyways, I mean, it feels kind of weird, but also easy, normal. Not easy as in like, wow, that was easy as in like a easy going, you know? But yeah, it feels interesting. And to all of you that have been here from the start, I thank you for sticking around, and I thank you for really supporting me and letting this channel build up that much. And for all of you that are new here, welcome, and I would be happy to have you here for a while. I don't plan on going anywhere. How do you feel about the future of Dead by Daylight? What would be your dream killer design or licensed character? For the first part of that question, how do I feel about the future of Dead by Daylight? Honestly, quite uncertain. Not in a bad way, really. It's just that every single time I'm like, what can Dead by Daylight do next? They just do something. And I'm either pleasantly surprised or I'm like, I don't know about that one. So uncertain is kind of the best way that I can say right now, but honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see all the new stuff that they do, especially as we run out of legacy characters to add, like Jason Voorhees and Predator and so on. You know, like, once we get all the old legacy characters in the game, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they dip into modern horror. And what would my dream killer design or licensed character be? Kind of already said this before that I wanted The Thing or Pennywise, but I'm going to say a different one for each time this question is asked. In terms of an original character, I would love to see an eldritch horror or a cosmic horror killer. Something Lovecraftian for sure, because I love cosmic horror. I love Lovecraft, not the actual guy, he was a big racist. But to see like an original killer design that's Lovecraftian, like some sort of tentacled horror beast, would be really, really awesome. It's kind of why I chose the Otherworldly selection for the newest build your own chapter thing. And a dream licensed character or chapter, I guess, would be Slenderman. Yeah. I was around on the internet for the beginning of creepypasta stuff, and, you know, I kind of grew up with stuff like Jeff the Killer and Slenderman, all those weird creepypastas, Sonic.exe and stuff. So it kind of holds like a nostalgic place in my heart, but I definitely think Slenderman would be a very interesting one to get into the game, just to see how it works and just to kind of have that presence in the lobbies. I think would be really, really cool. Also, just want to say thank you for your dedication to us. It means a lot to us, and I hope you feel proud of your channel. Thank you again, Bobby Thel. That means a lot. And honestly, thank you. I thank you for being here and thank you for watching my stuff and supporting me. I honestly can't say a big enough thank you to everybody who watches. And I do feel proud of my channel, I really do. And it's people like you guys that make me feel proud of it, for the community that I'm building, for the videos that I'm making, for everything. So thank you again. Question number 10. What are your honest views on the Singularity? Well, Huxley, I hate him. He's a piece of shit. I hope he dies. He sucks. He's a wiener. Nah, I'm just kidding. I knew it would rile you up. In all honesty, I'm kind of indifferent on Singularity. I've started liking him a little more since I've done the 101 video on him, because I used to not like him at all. I just got angry and confused with his power because I'm not that smart, and because I didn't want to dedicate that much time to his power, and I didn't honestly find it too engaging because it was just like a camera system and a teleport system. But after doing the 101, I definitely think I can say I've gained more respect for the Singularity, and honestly, he's just a cool design. I like him. He's neat. But will I ever play as him again? Maybe from time to time. Definitely more than I would have before I made the 101 video. But as long as you enjoy him, that's really what matters. Question 11. What killer do you want to see in 2v8 next? Or which original and which licensed killer each? That's a good question. For licensed character, I'm again gonna say the cop-out answer of Springtrap. I think it would be awesome to see Springtrap partner up with some legacy movie characters or just, other random Dead by Daylight killers. I think it would be really fun to see Springtrap next to Ghostface, for the whole double Matthew Lillard thing. And yes, I know that this Ghostface isn't Matthew Lillard, or, the actual movie Ghostface, it's an original character. But at the same time, if you just use your imagination, then you can have 2 Matthew Lillards in one lobby, and it's awesome. Also, I just would want to see how they tweak his power for 2v8, with the whole jump scares and the axe throw and the security doors. As for original character I'd like to see in 2v8 next, call me crazy, but the twins. If you remember my twins video, I did kind of come out with a controversial take. I love the twins. Despite their buggy nature and despite their lack of being played, I do love playing them. I haven't in a while because of the bugs, but when you get a bug-free match as the twins, it can be really fun, and playing as Victor and just running around as a little gremlin is honestly just still one of the funniest things to me. So I'm gonna say twins because I would want to see how they would adjust the killer's power with Victor in 2v8. Like, would he be a super downing machine like he was in that one PTB, or is he just gonna be absolutely horrible? I don't know. But I also want to see how many bugs would come with that, because there's gotta be so many bugs if they touch the twins at all in 2v8. So yeah, there's my answer. Question number 12. What's the most memorable match you've ever had? Probably one of my first matches going against the Dredge for the first time. I remember loading up the PTB. I remember seeing the killer, thinking it's cool. I remember clicking Survivor. I was on the game map, and as I was walking by a locker, I saw one of my friends go up to lock it and just swoop, get eaten up by the locker. And honestly, I just haven't been the same since. I still think about that game. I still think about that Survivor. I still think about those memories and the screams. Let's move on, shall we? Question number 13. What is the dream collab you want in Dead by Daylight that'll make you drop your current main instantly? Could be killer or survivor or both. Well, again, since this is another question like that, I will answer with a different response, but that is still heartfelt. Honestly, one of the horror games that I've played recently that has just blown me out of the water, quite literally, has been Still Wakes the Deep. If you don't know what that game is, I would check it out. I love it to death. It is such a cool game. To summarize it very quickly, you're this Scottish oil rig worker, and you're in the middle of the ocean, and it's all gray, and their drill hits something very otherworldly and Lovecraftian, and chaos ensues. Explosions start happening, workers start getting taken over by this alien type thing that just transforms them into these horrible, grotesque body horror monsters. So I'd say my dream chapter would be a Still Wakes the Deep chapter, the survivor being Cameron McCleary, the character you play as in the game, the killer being one of these transformed, mutated body horror creature workers, and the map being the oil rig in the middle of the sea. I think that would be such a cool map, just to look out over the empty ocean with the gray sky and, looping people around like loading bays and cargo containers and stuff. I think that would be awesome. Question number 14. Are there any killer add-ons you'd like to become base kit? There are probably plenty, but one I will say is Trapper Sack. I think that the Trapper has been neglected for super long by behavior. He's kind of a crappy killer, and you know, I love him, but I wouldn't play as him because I know I'd get stomped. His power is just not up to date, really. And one of the stupidest parts I think about him is the fact that his traps still spawn around the map, and that you have to go and like into these awkward spots to pick them up and waste a lot of time, because Dead by Daylight is all about being efficient, right? And you waste so much time by walking around and picking up traps. Like, why doesn't he just spawn with all of his traps in his inventory? Just kind of like the Hag or something. It just doesn't make sense to me. And obviously, if this add-on was to be base kit, I would want them to remove the feature that he can't pick up his own traps. I feel like that is insanely stupid as well. So yeah, I'd say that, just because Trapper needs some love. He needs an update for sure. Question number 15. Bippin! What's your favorite build to run and why? Well, I will tell you right now. So this one is my my patented jump scare schlonk known build. I really love it a lot. You start with an offering to go to Larry's Memorial, because obviously. You take the iridescent OSS report and the blurry photo. That way you can teleport faster, your teleport's on cooldown faster, and you leave behind a decoy that takes longer to disappear. Then you take Nowhere to Hide, Oppression, Unforeseen, and Noed. Honestly, Oppression and Noed can be swapped out with other undetectable perks if you really want to, but I take Oppression and Noed just so that I have some chance throughout the game. You could replace one of those with Insidious if you want, to try and pretend to be an unknown clone and jump scare people. But the result of this is you're teleporting around a lot, you're getting information from Nowhere to Hide when you teleport, and you're undetectable, so you can just sneak up on people and jump on them with your axe. And because it's Larry's Memorial, there's not really a lot of vision, so you can't really see the unknown coming a lot. Sorry, the schlonk known. So yeah, I think that's gotta be one of my favorite builds. Question number 16. Hi, Bippopotamus. Been with you since the Unknown 101. Thank you. Hello. I was wondering what other games you'd like to make videos on, if any. That is a good question. I think I've mentioned a few of them before. I do play a lot of video games outside of Dead by Daylight. I can list some of the ones that I think I could possibly make content for if people would want to see it. I've said before, Star Wars Battlefront 2, love that game to death, and could do a video on that if somebody really wanted that. Other single-player horror story games. I'm currently playing Outlast and Outlast 2, also Outlast Trials with one of my friends. Maybe some goofy stuff like horror games on Roblox, you know, something really stupid. If any of those pique your interest, let me know, because I would love to do something like that, just a stray away from the typical Dead by Daylight. Alright, final question. Question 17. What is the longest chase/match you've been in? Ooh, I'm a little forgetful. I don't remember every single match, but I do remember playing a match when I was very new at the game, like very, very new at the game, where I was playing Nurse, and I was not good at Nurse. I think I was in the match for 45 minutes. And that was probably the longest match I've ever played, and I was exhausted afterward. I had to take a break. So yeah, not a very memorable match for me, but definitely memorable in the sense that I never wanted to touch the Nurse again. So there you have it. And that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank you all again, not only for just watching my stuff and being here and supporting me, but for also contributing your questions and engaging in the stuff here. It was really fun to see these questions and to answer them. I hope you got a little, more sense about me, who I am, what I like doing, and perhaps sometime in the future, maybe when we hit a different goal, I'll do another video like this if people want to ask more questions. So thank you all for tuning in again. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.